Welcome to the Quick Five. I'm your host, Jalal.
And I'm Shay.
And today, Shay, what are we talking about today?
We'll be talking about Black Lives Matter versus All Lives Matter.
Black Lives Matter versus All Lives Matter. All right, let's get this clock started and talk about it. All right, Shay. So with everything going on, death of George Floyd, all the protests and stuff going on, there's been a lot of conversation on social media about Black Lives Matter versus All Lives Matter, or is it versus All Lives Matter? What is your take on that?
It's a very interesting topic because I feel like when we say Black Lives Matter, people tend to think that we're excluding all the other races. But for me, I agree that all lives matter. But what I think we're trying to say is it's not possible for all lives to matter if Black ones don't. All is everybody, all inclusive. So if there's anybody within the all that is not included, then all lives cannot possibly matter. And so for me, when I say Black Lives Matter, it's not to say that, white lives, Hispanic lives, Asian lives don't matter, but they're not the ones under fire. They're not the ones that's been treated unfairly. So I feel like it is causing a lot of uproar, but I do want to just say that I don't think it has anything to do with excluding the other ones. We're talking about the ones that don't seem to matter in this day and time. So I don't know, what do you think?
I think it is, like you said, I think it's an interesting conversation. And for me, I think we're at the place now where we're saying Black people have never came to the forefront and just said overall, people's lives don't matter.
Right.
We're just saying now, well, what we've been saying is, it's time for Black lives to matter too.
Just as much.
We need to acknowledge that for 400 years in this country, Black lives have not mattered. And Black lives have helped build this country. So we need to acknowledge the fact that Black lives do matter just as much as all these other races out there. And I think that's where the conversation should come from, a place just understanding that we can look throughout history to prove that Black lives have not mattered.
Yeah.
We can look throughout history and understand that there are plenty of instances where other lives have mattered way more than Black people's lives. And we're just saying, like, we want to matter too, where it's not really
equal playing field.
Yeah, it's not an us against them. It's just more of we need to matter, and right now we don't. And it's obvious by some of the things we're seeing in the news when it comes to, killing of Black men and shooting of Black men in the back and different things like this. There are some issues when it comes to Black men.
And the thing about it is we want to be able to say all lives matter. That's what we're saying. We want to say that we are all on the equal playing field, that we are all being treated the same. Like, it's not a bad thing that you guys want all lives to matter, but it is kind of offensive that you're making that a stance when you clearly see that Black lives, as we see unfold, or we see unfolding day after day after day, don't matter. And so to me, it's offensive because what you're initially saying is that you're okay with what's going on because to you, this looks fair. This looks just. So I think when it's all said and done, we all want to be able to chant all lives matter. But until Black lives are treated like the rest of everybody else, then for me, it's Black Lives Matter.
Yeah, and I think that's essentially that's what, to me that seems reasonable and fair. We're just saying, hey, we've got to matter too. And we've had laws, Jim Crow laws, we've had plenty of laws in place, gentrification law. We've had plenty of laws put in place to where we didn't matter. And we are not the ones in a position of power to change these laws, or have not been in the past. We're starting to change some of that, but we weren't initially, when these laws were put into place, in the positions to not have these laws that did affect our community. So
yeah, I think that's absolutely correct. And I think it's important for those who see that things are not right, that you speak up, because until we all basically come together on one accord and say, hey, this is not right. And I think what people feel like, if they say Black Lives Matter, like they feel you have to get okay with having uncomfortable conversations, because that's where change is going to happen.
All right. I'm Jalal.
I'm Shay.
Thank you guys for tuning in to the Quick Five.